Welcome back to the garage. I didn't expect there to be another video on this Harbor Freight blasting setup, but here we are. The only notable changes since the last video were that I got a couple of these 3D printed covers for the hand holes here, just to make sure no spiders and stuff get in here because it is a garage. Though unfortunately they didn't hold up to the drop test against concrete. But the other part, which was one of the normal complaints about these blasting cabinets, is this gun. Unfortunately, it has basically just failed me twice, and I'm tired of it. You put air pressure to it, and it's on full blast, and it doesn't matter if you're pulling the trigger or not. It's just on. Now, the first time I went ahead and just pulled it apart, pulled the screw out, pulled all the seals, and just took it apart, cleaned it up, put it back together, and it worked again. But now it's stuck open again. So I'm done with that. We're gonna try something different. To that end, I have picked up the Eastwood blast cabinet foot pedal kit. Basically, this includes the foot pedal, obviously, but it also contains a different gun setup. I haven't even unboxed this yet, so this is fresh for you and me. Here we go. Okay, so basically it's obviously foot pedal actuated. There's no trigger here. This is the good thing about that is that you don't tire out your finger, you use your foot. So I'll need to get a better air fitting and hook this up. But this should suit my needs quite a bit better. I did not realize this when I bought the kit, but would you guys look at this? Eastwood, bless them, they have sent a better connector to put this into the blast cabinet and then hook up the other end from the inside. Oh my God, Eastwood, bless you, this is amazing. Looks like this will come in from the outside. You use this ring here to retain it, put it on there, and screw it down, and that'll hold it in. Amazing. It's really hard to describe just how much better this feels. The weight of it. My God, just how smooth this action is compared to that Harbor Freight one. They're not comparable. This thing just, you can feel the quality, Let's go get this installed. I can't wait to try it out. Already got the old fitting apart here. I think I'm gonna have a problem with the length of the new hose. It looks to be too short for my modification. It would probably be just about the right size if I was still using this factory siphon tube. So let me figure out some hose here and we'll get this thing installed. For a while now, I've been using this nice and cheap coal slag stuff as a blasting media. And it's good because it's cheap, real cheap. But I'm starting to really dislike it. Even when your part is clean, it's not clean. You still got this layer of dust and dirt and used up blasting media all over the place, all over the workpiece, all over the entire cabinet. So it's just, I almost want to start using better blasting media now that I know what I know. Yes, most certainly this is going to be too short. Yep, it's about a foot too short. But I just got fantastically lucky. Here's the one that came with the new one. Here's the hose that was on it, and here's the leftovers from when I got the stuff. And these are just about the same length, like 2 inches shorter. Dang, that was a close one. It really is the small things. This hose clamp that came with the Eastwood kit, this thing is fantastic. I have used so many of these really cheap ones But this thing, it's just in a league of its own. It's just, I know it's such a stupid thing to be so impressed with a hose clamp. But this is a really good hose clamp compared to what I've been using. So I am quite happy with this. These seem to be higher quality fittings than what came with the cabinet. So I'm hopeful that I won't have the constant air leak that I was suffering here. German spec, Guten tight. Time to check for air leaks. All right, so far so good. No hissing. Oh yeah. Okay. That sounds pretty healthy. I guess the next step is to find something that needs to be blasted. And like I was saying, the downside of this cheap media is that it's just dirty. The case looks like it's all worn out, but it's not. It's just nasty. I'm gonna clean up this ignition coil bracket. Cleanup is relative. It's not even dirty. It's freshly painted. It's just the wrong color. That might not have been a good test. I assumed this was olive drab paint, but it's not coming off. This might have been like an olive drab powder coat of some kind, but it is very much not coming off. So the surface is at least roughed up. I can go paint that. Perhaps a more realistic example. A couple of rusty bolts. Now with any modification, there's gonna be some adjustments. It works okay. I think I've gotta adjust that hose a little bit. I used about the same length hose because I was used to having to deal with the gun and how you had to point it and move it and stuff. This thing is shaped differently. You can hold it differently. I think I might have a media problem, but that's okay, because I can figure that out. But again, this works okay. On this one I was losing some air pressure because I turned the compressor off just to save on noise, plus it's just really hot right now. But that other bracket, the coil bracket for the Willys Jeep, I think that was like olive drab powder coat, and that's why it was such a pain to get off. Because it took the rust right off this for the most part. I wasn't really trying that hard. I can tell you with confidence that it was my metering valve. I have to adjust it for this setup. There wasn't much media coming through here at all. Possibly because I left this valve open and moisture got in. It's unbelievably humid down here in Arkansas right now. But I'm gonna play around with this a little bit and get a better air to media mixture and try something different. So, funny story, I've been wandering around the garage trying to find something rusty to sandblast for this test. And I'm coming up short, till I finally found this alternator bracket setup of jank from the Jeep. Old small block Chevy alternator bracket with some creative support work. It was functional, it worked. So let's blast this thing. There it is. At this point I can say, without a doubt, that was a lot better than that Harbor Freight gun that comes with this. Now, I wasn't aiming for perfection on this. This was just a test piece, and it was probably good to do it on a larger area test piece. It's kind of a clunky thing to put in this cabinet just because of this, but this worked well. I've got a couple more refinements to do on that air ratio down there, but I'm quite pleased with this upgrade. There does seem to be one caveat though. It seems to require just a little bit more CFMs than I have at my disposal, so I'll be able to blast more effectively, but for shorter time. The Eastwood one specifically is, it wants 10.25 CFM at 115 PSI for best performance. 7.1 CFM at 90 is the minimum. I'm actually running closer to like 5.3 CFM at 90. Maybe closer to 6 if I do some adjustment, but that's my limitation. It'll work, it just won't work great. It's a trade-off I think I'm willing to live with. I don't have anything humongous left to blast. I'll be doing a lot of small parts though, and I have a few little projects here and there that are earmarked for future videos. So just a side note, not a sponsored video. I bought that with my own money off Amazon. I'm way too small of a channel to be sponsored at this stage, so just get that out of the way. So to wrap things up, this Eastwood foot pedal kit for this blasting cabinet, amazing upgrade. Anyone who does one of these is gonna have their own little calibrations and adjustments to do. I've got a few more to do on mine, but I can already tell that this is a great upgrade. I'm gonna have a lot of fun blasting some stuff later on this summer and into the fall. So thanks for watching. Hope you found that informative in some way, and I'll see you guys on the next one.